Did you know that we were never meant to do ministry alone? And yet, so many leaders do. On this episode of Student Ministry Connection, I want to share a simple way that you can partner with others to make a greater, united impact on the next generation. Let's get ready to connect and grow. Welcome to Student Ministry Connection. My name is Steve Cullum. I've been serving in student ministry ever since 1999 when I was in high school. I completed a couple internships and an 18-month residency. I've been a youth pastor in 4 different churches, and I now serve as a missionary with National Network of Youth Ministries. On this quick episode, I wanted to share something that might seem really simple, but I really believe it will change your ministry for the better. And again, I don't want to overstate this. It is a really simple concept, but it can be the thing that takes your ministry to the next level. And while a lot of you might already do this, I also know that this is something that many student ministry leaders don't think about. And that one thing is one of the very reasons that this podcast is named what it is: connection. We are not meant to do this alone. So a minute ago, I said that I work with National Network of Youth Ministries. And I know some of you are unfamiliar with our organization. So on this episode, I just wanted to do 2 things: briefly share what we're all about, and then also share how you can partner with us. So NNYM has been around since 1979, when some youth leaders gathered in Colorado to meet and share and pray together, and then that turned into something much, much bigger. And our vision is to see every youth leader thrive in relationship with God and each other, so that every young person is changed by the story of Jesus. And we do that through something we call networks, or collaborative spaces that often take place within a person's community, where youth pastors and youth leaders from various different organizations are meeting together on a regular basis to be personally encouraged, professionally equipped, and spiritually strengthened. But those gatherings can also happen online or in a text group or at events. We believe that if youth leaders are thriving, they'll be able to then help students and families and volunteers thrive. And then those students and families and volunteers will go out into their community and reach even more students for the gospel. Jesus even prays for our unity in John chapter 17. And as one of our founders, Paul Fleischman, says, we are better together. One of the ways we've seen this happen recently is through our network in Colorado Springs. They've been meeting together for years and supporting each other and encouraging one another, and it's been awesome to see. As they've been praying together for students in their community and praying for each other, many of them have started to partner with Decision Point and been able to get into the school system, and they've seen so many students turn to Jesus because of it. It's been so cool to see all these different youth leaders from different churches and different ministry organizations working side by side in the school system to reach more students. And then in 2025, they gathered their resources together and put on a huge outreach for students in their community. And they reached a whole lot of students. And so they did it again in 2026. And this year, they were able to reach 1,800 students and 200 leaders that represented 106 churches in the area. And 71 students made first-time decisions to follow Jesus, and over 230 students made a commitment to being trained to disciple their friends who are beginning a relationship with Jesus. It was so awesome to see this happen. And again, you don't have to do events together, but when God prompts a group that is meeting together and supporting each other and praying for their community and praying for each other together, sometimes ideas like this happen. And then those churches and youth leaders are able to reach so many more students in their community because they're united and partnering together. So if some of you have been wondering what I do within NYM, that's like the 30,000-foot overview. But practically, it means that I start networks, I support networks, I train youth leaders, I encourage leaders in ministries, and I coach youth leaders. People often ask me what my average day looks like, and it's really hard to explain because I'll rarely have 2 days that look the same unless I'm at a conference or a camp. Some days are filled with visiting our existing networks or helping leaders start new networks. Some are filled with coffees and lunches with youth leaders that I'm coaching. Some are all about online meetings with my teammates around the country. Some are administrative days with emails and reports. Some are all about prayer. Some are all about connecting with my ministry partners. Some are focused on training leaders and speaking at events. Some are all about this podcast or my research on student ministry leaders. And many days are filled with a little bit of all of that. One of the ways that I do that, as I mentioned, is through this podcast. It's been an honor to do this since 2016. It all grew out of a desire to have more conversations with others in student ministry, and God has grown it from there. I've had the amazing opportunity to interview some awesome leaders and experts within the student ministry world. Companies have believed in it enough to give away some high-ticket gifts to a number of you when we celebrated different milestones. And you've given me the chance to share some things that I've learned over the years. And very soon, you're going to be hearing more about what God has taught me through my survey and my research that I've been doing over this last year. I know some of you have been wondering about the journal article. It should be published this fall, so please keep praying about that. But also be praying that God opens doors for me to share about that research in the right places. I've already had the opportunity to share at a few conferences and online cohorts so far, and it's all been received very well. So I'm really excited to see where God takes this. So hopefully at this point, you're wondering how maybe you can get involved and partner with us at NNYM. So here are a few ways that you can do this. Number one, if you're not involved in a local network yet, you can go to nnym.org to search for a network in your area. If you find one, there should be contact information for that network coordinator, and you can get in touch with that person to find out when and where they meet. If there's not a network in your area, you can start one or have a hand in starting one. We would love to come alongside you and coach you throughout that entire process. All of that is on nnym.org. Our goal is to have a healthy network within driving distance of every youth leader. And we're about to add 10 new networks in the Colorado area alone this year, and I know more are popping up around the country. So please let us help you start one in your area to benefit you and the other ministry leaders in your community. Number two, please join us in praying for other youth leaders and our networking efforts. You know, there's something that changes in us when we pray for someone. So I want to encourage you to stop seeing other churches and youth leaders as some sort of competition. Maybe you don't mean to, but it happens. Just this week, I saw someone ask a question online about what we do in our churches to make us stand out or stand apart from other churches in our area. I think I get the heart behind this question, but I have to say I believe it's the wrong question. Instead, we should be praying for each other and looking for ways to partner. And this doesn't mean that you have to do everything together, but it does mean that you're following God's prompting when He gives you ideas on how you can work together to reach more teenagers together. So keep praying for each other. And number three, if you or your church would like to partner financially with me, I would love that. As I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I'm a missionary with NNYM. So this means all of my salary, benefits, and ministry budget comes from generous donors who believe in this ministry and want to invest in making it happen. We don't charge for any of the networking or coaching that we do. And so all of the things that I do for ministry, including my research and this podcast, come out of that budget. I'm about to head into this new budget year, and I have some big dreams and goals that I know can only happen if God brings more financial partners. So would you please join me in praying for this ministry? And remember that every dollar counts because God will then take it and then multiply it for His kingdom. If any of this interests you or you think your church might be interested, please reach out or go to nnym.org/Steve Cullum. That's SteveCullum. That link is also going to be in the show notes along with all the other links. And as a bonus, I also want to ask that you pray for NNYM. Our team has a big vision of every youth leader thriving. And in order to do that, we need resources. And yes, some of that includes financial resources, but it also includes people resources. Please pray for us that God will continue sending people to us who have a heart for this ministry like we do and want to join in and make it happen. There are many different ways that people can serve with us, and we'd love to have that conversation with them. To learn more, you can go to nnym.org/careers. Well, thank you so much for being here for this episode. I really do hope to help you get connected, because that connection with other youth leaders and other people within student ministry can make a huge difference in your ministry and help you to unite together with the church and reach even more teenagers with the gospel. And if you're looking for a speaker for your next event or training, be sure to head to the Speaker Hub at youthmenhub.com/Speaker Hub. You'll find me and several other experienced leaders there who you can book for your next event. Our next episode is going to be all about prayer, as I talk with a good friend of mine who works with Claim Your Campus. She's going to share some amazing stories about what God has been doing all around the United States and ways that you can get your students involved. So make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast so you don't miss it. And until next time, be sure to stay connected and may God bless your ministry.